Welcome to Tidbit Talkin. This series is just spewing out assorted thoughts about boatloads of entertainment media. Some ideas are serious, others not so much. There will be spoilers for the series currently featured, but generally only vague references to any other connected ones in a shared universe. Now, with all that out of the way, here we go. What lies beneath? Jordan partaking in annoying activities such as changing outfits repeatedly while many people are waiting on him might actually be helping his super speed develop. On a related note, Supreme Smelling would have trouble forming before other stupendously supplemented simple senses, since using heat vision would regularly cause a lingering scent of burnt normal air gases that one's brain must learn to ignore before detecting other stuff with those awkwardly beefy nostrils. Irons chose a Johnson alias for his daughter and self because that name's origin is just literally being the child of a John. In addition to struggling because of being surrounded by XK, Bizarro causes so much quaking while fleeing these mines because he's only used to handling soil from cubic places. The ties that bind. That podcast about advocating Allie's awesomeness apparently arose right as somebody from Opposite World actually broke through to this one. Said crazy cult commander must have either had a vision about the Quakes meaning convergence time is coming years ago, or Big Blue Buccaneers breaking bonanza brought forth a rather detailed one during a recent premonition-seeking hallucinatory state she put herself into. Tal's prison sits atop a rather high-altitude plateau deal, with the surrounding lower area being all forestry-filled. This setup could handily make it a fair bit easier to catch him if escaping occurred, because his options are either get airborne and be quite obvious, or head through shadiness, which slows down sunlight sapping somewhat. While the latter situation might seem like only a mild hindrance, putting cameras up in those treetops should be rather simple for anybody resourceful enough, which means those lovely highly trained soldiers working here getting an edge over him on terrain they've likely done countless drills on ain't so unreasonable. John Henry hauls around seismic activity deciphering hoopla in both his RV and suit because such stuff was quite helpful in seeking stable underground places while looking for nice not them empowering solar radiance reaching excluded areas during all that necessary hiding from evil Kryptonian action going on back during certain homeworld dwelling times. Laura would know all about interdimensional junk because her and Jor would have considered evacuating to a not blowing up their planet in another universe before just settling on sending their child away. The thing in the mines. If nobody raised a hand following that "do you feel incomplete" question, Allie would have simply moved on to another speech or series of ones to lure these poor folks into her cult. Clark's super anger at his sons is because him-felt pride gets mixed with Bizarro stored child shame, and the result is a sort of subconscious double aggravation deal. That is, this Mr. Kent gets pissed at himself for ever even contemplating possibly being that negative towards his children, while Jor-El develops all the rage because he can't stand how feeling like Jonathan is always redeemable could distract him from mission completion whatever. Since neither is truly aware of the counterpart's opinions on account of them never reaching tangible idea status, they can't help but let their frustration reach an exploding point on account of unavoidable confusion, never letting them truly explore why such things are being felt. The inverse method. Each world's atrociously ambitious Alston can only recruit one specific group because of the whole opposite quality universe thing. Hence her cube-loving self getting control of more globally influential people like DoD folks and then using force for who's left, while the sphere-savoring sample suckers in massive normal societal level individual clusters that subsequently stealth sabotage super sway swinging segments slowly over time with parasite resembling tactics. Somewhat related, the two Allie's opposition just so happens to function in a way that makes merging inevitable. That is, unlike seemingly absolutely everyone else being in a situation where one side wants combining while the other definitely doesn't, she seeks said scenario for different reasons that have sorta clashing end result aspirations. Specifically, Bach's bad boss wants to truly merge in one body, while a circle-spinning supervisor strives for an arrangement in which complete counterpart consuming commences. On to other kinda connected consideration crap. Perhaps Bizarro assumes Superman wants the fusion to happen, because he doesn't. Anyway, they're both reverse of that one lady's whatnot, because Mr. Truth and Justice doesn't seek sandwiching, because it murders them both, while Captain Flashy Fame Fortune favors doing things solo, so precious public perception can become glorious again. Getting into the minimum of deeper on that helpful selfishness versus pure others' well-being interest thing going on here. Clark can go through with unpleasant do-gooding that makes people hate him, like saving foreign folks from places his home nation is at war with, for example, while Cal can't, which probably really helped a certain group of religious fanatics take over his world. Telescoping vision must have activated for John first, because spending so much time not sleeping while contemplating whether or not to actually use that XK would have involved a lot of focus-seeking eye-twitching action. Girl, you'll be a woman soon. After accidentally breaking his brother's hand while said sibling sought to prevent him from probably killing somebody else, Jordan must have focused really hard on figuring out how gauging an opponent's strength works. The term Bizarro may come from other side reality crap crap leaking into everybody's normal one. That is, O and E are kinda opposite each other in the sense they come closer to the alternate world shape than their own. There's a chance his heat breath has somewhat of an advantage here because there's gas leak action going on due to whatever this place handled before abandonment not being thrown out properly. Tried and true. This dimension hot-proof suit must have been swiped from the corrupt DoD right alongside a certain pendant. The naturally powered Kentling must be extra worried about his apparently identical in strength now twin playing football because a lack of control demonstrated during their training brought forth much imaginary malarkey regarding not being able to stop others destroying punches during reverse last year scenario deals. Clark has probably mostly thought about Lois cheating in supernatural sort of situations which involve things like mind control or what have you. That's why he's kinda excessively chill about Lana's hypothetical presenting. AntiHero Dogs got trained to sniff out kryptonite as a result of various researchers looking out for ways one could either help Lex Luthor with obtaining the stuff or stop him in his green rock coveting tracks. Of course, every single space-focused canine developing group, no matter how they felt about the guy, would have been secretly funded by him. Reading all those books must have helped Tal figure out where this red sunlight cells generator was by giving him at least a basic insight into general engineering concepts. Into Oblivion. This random portal right before the antimatter wave shows up might have been formed by some supervillain CEO during Crisis with a certain Destiny-concerned literature piece while he was looking throughout the multiverse for Superman to kill. Nat's exit takes a relatively long time because the magic of that book is really tricky to master. Lois's great knowledge of how Clark operates in public superhero persona deals, overly clumsy hiding stuff acts, and true combination self mode allow her to always predict what he'll do in rock, paper, scissors. That guy who asked Chrissy if she's sure about wanting to go might be a spy sent by the government or some other extra-dimensional junk interested group. Breaches not formed by metas with powers related to such things must bring forth a lot of destruction because they are confused on how atoms and whatever should be arranged since they are getting conflicting messages from both ends. In this case, it's much worse than normal because of that whole complete reversal thing going on. Dad knows when his sons are getting good at lying because he was once a teenager who truly had to do it a lot. Then an adult with the same issue. Then finally he reached a point where he needed to get really skilled at it because federal agency cooperating became part of his normal routine. 30 days and 30 nights. Steele's squishy, supremely sufficient scorch-stopping stuff might have came about because his world is one equipped with a good Leonard Snart and or extra pleasant Victor Freeze. Jordan successfully safely sticking somebody into ice might be a thing because he's been training to non-fatally perform maneuvers witnessed in media pieces like Mortal Kombat in an attempt at coolness. Bizarros in a bizarro world. They probably cook stuff with radio waves, not micro ones. Bullets might be made from zinc, while the pistol's firing pins are composed of lead. The standard light switch on position seems to be down. X and Bizarro Green K might work by transferring pre-absorbed sunlight directly into people via skin contact or inhalation. Hence how they can both empower humans and potentially overload their respective native Kryptonians. In this John's cult-embracing mind, he probably views killing the remaining Anderson as a mercy-granting deal because said fellow will never find happiness according to Allie, since he can't ever become complete. Endings are a pain, but all of you are fantastic. See ya.